Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our Python class. Before starting today's lesson, let's revise what we learned in the previous class. Okay, can anyone answer this question? What is a function? Why do we use functions? And what is a built-in function? Okay, just go through mind in 10 seconds. You can answer in the mind. And in today's class, we are going to learn how to make functions more powerful by passing information to them. This is done using parameters, arguments, and return statements. Okay, first of all, we just want to know the definition of parameters. A parameter is a variable written inside the parenthesis of a function definition. It receives the value sent to the function. So let's understand this with a real life example. Imagine your mother asks you, bring one notebook. The notebook is the information you are taking. Similarly, a function sometimes needs information to do its work. That information is received through parameters. So I will give the syntax of parameters, okay? Okay, this is the structure of parameters, okay? Def defines the function. Function names is the name of the function. Parameter, variable that receives data. Okay. So with an example, we can do one problem from parameters. Okay. Just watch what I'm typing. Okay. Okay. Now we are running the program. Yes. The first line greet is the function name. Name is the parameter, and the second line prints the value stored in name, and the third line the value Rahul is sent to the parameter name. So that's why we get the output as hello Rahul, and the code execution is successful. Okay, now we are going to arguments. Okay, first of all, I will tell the definition of argument. An argument is the actual value passed to a function when it is called. Once more, an argument is the actual value passed to a function when it is called. So students often get confused between parameters and arguments. Remember this symbol rule, okay? Just remember what I am typing. This is an important key rule. Parameters means variable and argument means actual value. Okay, parameters means variable and argument means actual value. Okay, so let's see an example, one more example. Okay, just look what I'm typing. Okay, just run the program. Here the parameter is name and the argument is Anita. Okay, and we will get the output as Anita. Just we can do one more example. Okay, just watch the coding. Okay, now we are running the program. But there's a small mistake here, so we are correcting it. Def square number print number into number square. Okay, we are correcting it. Okay, and we are getting the output as 5. Okay, 25, right? Okay, when the argument is 5, we will get the output 25. Okay, now we will go into the next portion, multiple parameters. Okay, now I will explain you with one code. So the first line has two parameters a and b, and the second line adds two numbers, 10 goes to a and 20 goes to b, and that's how we get the output 30 and the code execution is successful. Okay, now I will ask two questions, what are parameters and what are the arguments. So now I will give 10 seconds to answer, just answer you in the mind. Okay, okay, so let's go to the next part, default parameters. Okay, first of all, I will tell the definition of default parameters. A default parameter is a parameter that already has a default value. If no argument is provided, Python uses the default value. Okay, so let's do one coding problem so you will guys understand it. Now we are running the program. The code execution is successful. Okay, just one more thing. And we get the output as welcome students. Okay, the parameter name already has the value student. Since no argument is passed, Python uses the default value, and that's how we get the output as welcome student. Now just change this to Rahul, see what happens. Okay, and we will get the output as welcome Rahul. Okay, when we provide an argument, it replaces the default value. See, here we get welcome Rahul. Now let's move on to the next portion, default return statement. Okay, so first I will tell the definition of return statement. Okay, the return statement need a value back from the function to the place where it was called. Once more, the return statement sends a value back from the function to the place where it was called. So far, our function only printed the answer. Sometimes we don't want to print immediately. Instead, we want the function to give us the answer so we can use it later. This is done using return statement. Okay, so just do one more problem so we can understand. The first line creates a function with two parameters, and the second line adds the number and sends the answer back. And the third line returned value the return value is stored in the variable result. Okay, and the fourth line displays the return value. Okay, so there's a small error showing here, so we can correct it. Okay, so we can correct the error. Here is result needed. Then we will get the correct output as 30, and the lines I already explained here. Okay, now next we are going to study the differences between print and return. Okay, but now we can see here output. Now we are going to study the difference between print and return. Okay, just first of all I'll tell about print. Okay, print displays output. Okay, and it cannot be reused, and it used for displaying. Okay, the print displays output cannot be reused and used for displaying. Okay, the next one, return, sends a value back, and returned value can be stored and reused. Okay, the next one, used for further calculations. Okay, return sends a value back, returned value can be stored and reused, used for further calculations. Okay, and now we can do one practical activity question. Okay, so we are getting the output as 20. Okay, 5 into 4, 20. That's how we are getting it. Now I will ask two questions. What is a parameter? What is an argument? Okay, and just get through your mind the difference between them. I will give you 10 seconds to remember all of this. Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds. Okay, just remember it. I'll give you 10 seconds. So everyone, we have reached the end of today's class. Let's revise everything we learned about function, parameters, arguments, and return statement. Okay. In our previous class, we learned how to create and call functions. Today, we learn how to make function and more useful by passing information to them. First, we learned about parameters. A parameter is a variable written inside the parenthesis when defining a function. It receives the data sent to the function. Okay. Next, we learned about arguments. An argument is the actual value that we can pass to a function when calling it. And parameter is variable and argument is actual value. Okay. First of all, remember these important points. Parameter receives value, argument send values, and default parameter provide a value when no argument is passed. Return sends the result back to the program instead of only displaying it. Okay. So in our next class, we will continue learning about function by exploring. The main parts of that is variable scope, local and global variable, recursive functions, lambda functions, practical examples, and real world applications. These advanced functions these advanced function concept will help you write more efficient, reusable, and professional Python programs. So everyone congratulate yourself. You have now learned how to create functions, pass data using parameters and arguments, use default values and return results from functions. So thank you for your attention and participation throughout today's class. I look forward to seeing you in our next section where we will explore more exciting features of Python function. So everyone have a wonderful day. Keep practicing and happy coding. Thank you.